Hi, so today we are going to be talking about Warcraft 3. This is something probably to make you sleepy because I don't think any of my followers are interested in RTS games. I might be wrong. I don't remember at least. I'm sorry if someone likes it. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But yeah, I'm gonna be explaining all the knowledge that I have that might be interesting to someone that doesn't play Warcraft 3 but does like strategy games, and it will be very boring if you don't like strategy games, but it probably will make you sleepy, so stay tuned here with me, okay? And yeah, I'm a huge fan of Warcraft 3. If you don't know, I even have a Twitch stream called 𝓐𝓢𝓜𝓡. The name is in honor of the game. There's an ability called 𝓚𝓚. 𝓚𝓚, I love 𝓚𝓚 so much. It's the best ability in the game. 𝓚𝓚 Frost Nova, but you don't need to understand that. So, the first thing, I think it's one of the most interesting concepts of the game. I always like it to know, like, if I see what my enemy is doing, what can I do to answer to that, you know? And if you don't know Warcraft, it's an RTS like Age of Empires, Age of Mythology, StarCraft. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into details to explain what is real-time strategy games, but I'm gonna get into the concepts of strategy. And one of the concepts I found more interesting is to understand types of strategies. I'm sorry, I put my headphones on so I can monitor if I'm talking too loud. And one of the most important concepts in counterattacking your opponent is knowing what are the three main types of strategies. This I learned with Grubby. He was one of the Warcraft 3 champions back in the 2000s. He still streams a lot. He's one of my favorite streamers. Anyways, I also really like 𝓚𝓚. They're my two favorite Warcrafts. Oh my god, focus, Julia, focus. I keep losing my focus all the time. I'm really sorry. I'm not good at focusing. That's why I do ASMR and not other contents. Anyways, the three types of strategies. The three types of strategies are offensive, which is really fun, defensive, also really fun, and greedy. So, in this game, you have a lot of neutral monsters in the map, and you can kill them to earn treasures and level up your hero units. And so if you focus on that, just stay on your side of the map, leveling up, building up technology, that's a defensive strategy. You're only making yourself stronger without going to your enemies and without being greedy. And what is being greedy in this game? In this game, you have wood and gold resources that you have to collect. And gold is the major one. Wood is more like a technology limiter, like if you don't have wood, you can't evolve your technology, but gold is the main resource. And if you collect gold from gold mines, and you have to build your base around it. Other gold mines are far away from each other, so you have to build another base. And that's very greedy. Why is it greedy? You may ask. Well, because if you're spending money to build an expansion, which is quite expensive, you are not using that money to build new technologies, to build units, and usually you're gonna spend more money with towers and such, and a lot of times you have to be AFK in your expansion so your enemy doesn't destroy it. And that's very greedy, because if your opponent is not expanding, he has an advantage over you, because he has not expended money on building something that doesn't make him stronger. So if expanding doesn't make you stronger, why would you do it? Well, it's because after a few minutes it will make you stronger, because you will have earned more money than your opponent, and your expansion will have paid for itself, you know. After your expansion paid for itself, you actually start having more gold than your opponent to buy items, to build units, but you will be late in game, so that's why it's greedy. And the other is being aggressive, which means attacking your enemy, trying to steal neutral monsters from them, attacking their expansion, getting their way, or rushing to win the game early game. Usually when you're attacking early game, your goal is not to destroy your enemy, but it is to make their plan in game slower, so you can do something else. For example, there are 3 tiers of technology. Maybe you want to go to the last one as fast as possible, and that costs a lot of money, so you have to attack your enemy so they get slowed down, and you have time to get tier 3 technology units and survive in case your enemy attacks you, because if you're attacking me early on and winning the fights, they probably won't have the power to attack you. And I think it's pretty obvious why offensive wins greedy, because greedy is falling behind in the game in comparison to the other 2 types of strategies, so they are weaker than the 2 other strategies early on. So the counter to that is attacking early on, doing things as fast as possible. Against expansions, you really want to do tier 2 attacks, in my opinion. Sometimes tier 1, but tier 3, I think if you go for tier 3, you will most likely lose the game, I think. So if you scout your opponent, they're being greedy, you just become offensive. And okay, so if your opponent is defensive, they're staying in their side of the map, they're not crossing the map to get to your side. You're here, your opponent is here, they're not doing this. So being greedy is really good against defensive players. So, for example, if your opponent plays Paladin Rifle, that's typically a defensive strategy because they will always wait for their second hero on tier 2 to attack. So you have time to build up your expansion and earn gold and be ready for their late attack. And being greedy is again good against being defensive, and being defensive is good against an offensive player. Why is that? Being defensive means you're staying on in your side of the map and leaving your opponent alone. If you're staying on your side of the map, it means it's easier to defend your base, and also you're becoming stronger and stronger and stronger early on without losing time crossing the map. An offensive player loses a lot of time crossing the map to get to you, and this time is valuable. It means you're ahead of your opponent. So if you have an offensive opponent, make sure to scout them to know what is their late game plan, and just stay on your side of the map, getting strong heroes, fast technology, and beat their ass up. Yeah, so these are the three main types of strategies in the game. This was my first strategy lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, keep it real, guys. Bye bye.